Can you please raise your right hand? Thank you. Do you swear and affirm that the statements you will give and provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can put your hand down and you can take a seat. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Please answer yes or no only. Have you ever advocated either directly or indirectly the overthrow of any government by force or violence? Have you ever persecuted either directly or indirectly any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? Okay. Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following: genocide, torture, killing or trying to kill someone, badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose, forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relation, not letting someone practice his or her religion? Were you ever a member or that you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups: military unit, paramilitary unit, police unit, self-defense unit, vigilant unit, rebel group, guerrilla group, militia, insurgent organization? Have you ever been a habitual drunkard? Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? Have you ever sold, smuggled, controlled substance, illegal drugs, or narcotics? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or pay alimony? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? Okay. Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government official to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain an immigration benefit while in the United States? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Have you ever had, or do you ever have, a heritage title or an order of nobility from any foreign country? Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined into a mental institution? Have you ever been charged with committed attempting to commit or assisted in committing a crime or offense? Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or rehabilitate program? No. Have you ever received a suspended sentence, being placed in probation, or being paroled? Have you ever been in jail or prison? How about back in your country of origin? Were you ever in prison back in your country of origin? Do you owe any federal, state, or local taxes? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or any way associated in any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or another location in the world? Have you ever been a member of or any way associated either directly or indirectly with the Communist Party, with any other totalitarian party, with a terrorist organization? Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any other following: prison or jail, prison camp, detention facility, labor camp, any other place where people were forced to stay? Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, organization that used weapons against any person or threatened to do so? What is a weapon? Do you ever self-give or provide weapons to any person, or help another person self-give or provide weapons to any person? Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training? Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve, help, or armed force or group? Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything to help or support people in combat? Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempt to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? Okay. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason? Do you understand what cited is? What is cited? Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been ordered removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Are removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings currently pending against you? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Okay. Are you a male who live in the United States between your 18th and 26th birthday? I need to ask you two questions. First, what is the first thing you plan to do when you become a U.S. citizen? Okay. And second, why do you want to become a U.S. citizen?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo te está yendo con la práctica? Recuerda que si te gustaría prepararte para responder una entrevista como esta, ofrecemos un curso en nuestra página cursosconfernando.com. En este curso encontrarás un orden de trabajo sin interrupciones que podrás estudiar a tu propio ritmo y a tus propios tiempos sin importar tu nivel de inglés. Además, contarás con el apoyo de nuestro equipo ayudándote en tu preparación. Recuerda, esta página es cursosconfernando.com. Continuemos con la práctica. Mucha suerte.
Did you bring your permanent resident card, your passport, and a form of ID with you? Can I see them? Just hold them up so that I can see them. You can put them away now. Okay, now we are going to do the civics test. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. You will need to answer 6 of them correctly to pass this part of the interview. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? When do we celebrate Independence Day? Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? What does the Constitution do? What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Who is in charge of the executive branch? What does the president's cabinet do? When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? Who does a U.S. Senator represent? Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Okay, now we are going to do the reading and writing part of the interview. Please read the following sentence. Now, please write the following sentence. President Washington is the father of our country. President Washington is the father of our country. Okay, this is how you write President Washington is the father of our country. What is your complete name? What other names have you used in the past? Are you going to be doing a name change? What is your date of birth? Where were you born? Spell the name of the country where you were born. What is your height and your weight? What are the last 4 digits of your Social Security number? What is the best contact number for you? When did you become a permanent resident? How did you become a permanent resident? Let me ask you about your marriages. Are you married? What is your spouse's full legal name? What is the citizenship status of your spouse? When did you get married? How many times have you been married? Have you ever been divorced? When did you get divorced? What is the name of the person you divorced? Okay. Do you have the documents from that divorce with you? Can I see them, please? Are either of your parents U.S. citizens? How do you support yourself? When was the last time that you were employed? What is your address? Spell the name of the street, please. How long have you lived at this address? Where did you live before? Why did you move? Do you have any children? How many children do you have? What are your children's names and their ages? Are you the biological parent of your children? Were your children born in the United States? Have you traveled out of the United States since you submitted this application? When was the last time that you traveled out of the United States? Where did you go? And how long was this trip for? Why did you take this trip? Okay. In the last 5 years, how many total trips have you taken out of the United States? Okay. And in the last 5 years, what are the total amount of days you have spent outside of the United States? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? What is an oath of allegiance? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian directions? Okay, at this moment, I am going to recommend your application as approved. Congratulations.
Si te gustaría informarte de cómo son las entrevistas en la oficina que a ti te corresponde, dónde tendrás tu entrevista, te invito a que nos sigas en nuestro segundo canal de YouTube, Citizens Ahora. En este segundo canal ponemos experiencias todos los días de diferentes partes del país. Puede ser que una de estas experiencias te dé información que tú necesitas para tu entrevista. Así que no olvides, síguenos en nuestro segundo canal de experiencias, Citizens Ahora.